What if you were the living embodiment of all pervasive peace? What if all sentient beings all around you increase their vibration towards harmony by merely being in your contact? What if, through conscious reasoning, focused will, and intentional living, you reform yourself, thereby becoming a catalyst in sparking transformation in others? I'm Shilpa Lewis, meditation, mindset, and mindfulness coach for midlife mompreneurs, and you are listening to Omnipresent Awareness, the podcast that will inspire you to use your story to serve humanity in not just healing, but thriving as souls, each fulfilling their highest purpose. Welcome to Omnipresent Awareness with Shilpa. This is your host, Shilpa Lewis, owner and founder of Omni Mindfulness Coaching. Before we get started, if you haven't already booked a free discovery session with me, click on the link in the description. I'm a holistic transformational life coach, specializing in helping midlife mompreneurs bring balance, clarity, and life alignment both personally and professionally, so that you may live your best life. There is tremendous healing value in simply being able to know someone is holding authentic space for you to listen and be accessible as an accountability partner and mentor. If you feel overwhelmed, or if you feel the need for some support navigating life as a mother or as an entrepreneur, I would love to provide you with my coaching. If any anecdotes from the stories of the guests from this episode or any of the podcast episodes resonate with you, or if you find any value at all from the content from these episodes, then consider booking a free discovery call with me. Together, we can manifest my vision to be instrumental in the biggest rise in consciousness and awareness and human transformation. And now, here is today's episode. And now, a conversation recorded with my partner in awareness, Tanya, from our joint podcast, Mindful Mompreneur Moments. And oh yeah, if you could, please listen to the very end of the podcast for powerful insights from our guest. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. In today's conversation, we have Dr. Laura Jaget. Dr. Laura Jaget is a chiropractor who retired in 2020 after 28 years in practice. She created a brand called How to Life, which is geared toward teaching the younger, newer adult how to maneuver through adulthood more easily. In short, she helps to take the fear out of adulting. She has a podcast called How to Life for audio guidance and inspiration, and a YouTube channel of the same name that features short video tutorials called Mominars that show how to perform basic life skills. She likes to think of this content as life skills for students of all ages. In her quote-unquote adult life so far, Dr. Jaget has been nationally ranked as NCAA Division tennis player, a chiropractor, a business owner, a wife, a mother of 4 amazing accomplished children, a healer, a teacher, and she has dabbled in boxing as well as marksmanship. How to Life is her second act, and she is having a great time producing these adult classes and content to help motivate and inspire others. And now, Dr. Laura Jaget.
Hello. Thank you so much again for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you, Laura.
We're going to jump right into the questions. Tell us a little bit about your journey as a mompreneur and particularly as now a podcaster.
Okay. Well, I was a chiropractor for 30 years, and I was a chiropractor before I became a mom. So I had started a business with my husband at the time, and then motherhood came into play, and it, it was tough. I have 4 children. I had to bring some of them to work with me, but you make it work. I had a hard time balancing because as a doctor, a healer, I feel very devoted to my patients and I want to give them my time and my energy. And then I have my children and I want to give them my time and energy also. Sometimes it was a conflict and it took me a few years to balance that out. But as they got older, I found my way in both ways. And now my children are all grown up and I am no longer practicing chiropractic. I retired last year, but I still want to help people. I still want to heal people. So I have become a podcaster and I have a YouTube channel. It's called How to Life. And I talk about personal development and teach basic life skills to younger, newer adults, like my young adult children's age.
It's such a beautiful concept. Shilpa, you're on mute. Such a beautiful concept. And just the fact that you're so honest in saying that you had to figure it out. Basically, the struggle of the mompreneur often is that you're working so many hours on your business because it's kind of like your baby. And then when you have your own physical babies, it's hard to balance a lot of times.
It really is. It's not only your job is not only your baby. I mean, it's your livelihood and you need it to provide for your children. It was hard for me. I'm very attached to my children. And being there for them was extremely important for me. So I think a lot of probably women experience this. You kind of lose yourself. Like I was giving to my kids, I was giving to my patients, I was giving to my partners in my business, and I lost myself. I did not give to myself. And I think that's the biggest takeaway that I learned is you have to fuel yourself first before you can take care of anybody else.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that the vision that you have is what can I give to the future generation through the content, through the lessons you've learned, which I get goosebumps just listening to that.
It's true. I mean, we remember being a young adult, being new. You want to be taken seriously. You want to show the world that you know what's going on, but you don't. And it's not your fault. A young person, nobody taught this in school. Nobody taught these terminologies that are thrown around adults use, like with insurance. I remember being young, having to get insurance and I didn't know what deductible meant or premium and I didn't know what to choose and I didn't want to look dumb. It was a very uncomfortable feeling. So I want to alleviate that. I just want the young person or whatever age you are to know it's okay. We all were beginners at one time.
Yeah.
Here's some information that you can secretly, if you want to just go and look, watch the video, listen to the podcast and learn, and then go out and amaze the world with your knowledge.
Absolutely. And I was going to say that it doesn't even matter what age you are, because a lot of stuff I still don't know. And it's like for our listeners, first of all, we have to put this video up on YouTube because you're saying you're retired and you look like a young Kris Jenner, but with the age of Kim Kardashian. Like you look so young. So
that is so nice. Thank you.
It helps that you're in this type of business, in this line of podcasting, because you stay so young.
Oh, well, I appreciate
an
that.
Audience like that. Yeah,
it is true. It comes from the heart. And whenever you do anything from the heart with your intention to help your audience, it'll be successful for you and you'll be happy, and happiness makes you look young.
That's right.
And speaking of in the intention you're putting in, and clearly your intention is pure and is coming through on every level. Can you tell us a little bit about what intentional living means to you?
Yes. It took me a long time to learn what intentional living is. And my definition of it is that I, every morning, set an intention for how I want the day to go. Many people don't realize they have power to direct what's coming into their experience. Many people, and me included when I was younger, I thought it was just random chance. You just go out into the world and maybe you'll have a good day, or maybe someone will crash into your car, or maybe this will happen. And that's a very scary way. And it leads to this sort of victim or random chance, like I have no control. So intentional living for me is to wake up, know my power. I meditate. I make sure that I get in the best mood that I can be in so that I can attract good things, good people, good situations. And it doesn't always go that way. Sometimes you do bump into something that you don't like, but the one thing you can control is your reaction to it. So if something goes wrong and then something else goes wrong, I stop now and I say, okay, what's my role in this? I'm drawing this to me. So let me reset. Let me calm down. Sometimes I write it out. I write my way out of a negative feeling. And it's been going pretty well for the last few years. I am really have gotten to a place where I feel that I'm in control of what happens to me. And whether it's good or whether it's bad, I can always say it was me. And that gives me a sense of power and control over my life.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Like I set an intention right after my meditation. I'm a little bit of a geek, so I put in a spreadsheet, but I do this. And, just today I said, I will remain centered and grounded. And even as I wanted to not go there, my brain was like, that's the intention you set. So you're going to do it.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. It's very easy to fall off, get thrown off into the bushes when one thing after another just kind of hits you. And actually, just a few days ago, late in the afternoon, I'm like, why am I'm annoyed? I just feel kind of annoyed. So I sat down with a pen and paper, which I do a lot, and I just wrote down everything that kind of bugged me that from the beginning of the day. It was like a whole day of annoying situations. And then I wrote on the other side of the paper how it resolved. And when I looked at it, I'm like, all right, everything worked out okay. Like nothing really bad happened. And I'm like, okay, so I don't need to feel annoyed. It all worked out. Sometimes you have to see it out of your head and in front of you to say, that's no big deal.
That is such a powerful technique. Like it led me to my next question, which was going to be, can you share any mindfulness tips? I mean, that's a great tip already.
Yes.
Do you have any other mindfulness tips or modalities that you use that you can share with our audience?
Yes. So what I do is I meditate almost every day. And it doesn't even have to be a formal meditation. It could be just zoning out for a little bit, but intentional zoning out, just kind of calm and quiet. I do like quiet. It helps center me. I also will take a power nap. I have mastered the power nap, 9 to 18 minutes. If I feel a little run down or I have to go, I know I need some energy for something coming up, I will close my eyes. And at this point in my life, I can do it. I close my eyes, I go to sleep, I wake up 9 minutes later, and that's enough to sort of give me that reset. Also, the most important thing, and I love talking about it, is keeping a gratitude list. I've been doing it for about 7 years now. I don't think I've missed a day. I just write down every good thing that happened to me. Even if somebody held the door open for me, or I had a coupon for, my favorite shampoo or something, that's something that I'm grateful for. Always on it is my home, my car, the technology that we have in this world that makes life so easy. I live in Las Vegas, so air conditioning in the summer, that's always on my gratitude list. It's the little things, because we take these things for granted. I used to, but when you talk about them and you acknowledge them every day, you're like, you know what? Life is not so bad. It's awesome, actually. So those are some tips that I would advise everybody to do.
And it's so crazy that you say that, because I literally just sent out a post on my Instagram account, like thanking my virtual mentors, I like to call them. And my last line was something like, gratitude is like the best kept secret to living a blissful life. It's like,
it absolutely
you
is.
Wake up every morning, just finding, for me, I don't write it down, but you're right, I should write it down. But the first thing I do as soon as I wake up, I open my eyes, I think of something I'm grateful for,
Yeah.
And it's just a great way to live, really.
Your bed, a good night's sleep. Yeah. It's a great way to start the day.
Yeah,
absolutely. Any other insights you have for our audience on intentional living?
I think that accepting responsibility for what happens in your life is huge. Even if it's not going well, if you can say, all right, I'm doing this. I'm the common denominator here. This A, B, C, D, E is all going wrong, but there's one thing that's in common with all of those. It's me. If you can say that, then you can take a look at what you're doing, how you're vibing, why are you drawing this to you, and make deliberate steps. Take a deliberate step in an opposite direction. It's not all going to go away at once. That's okay. You have to sort of, turn the ship. A big giant barge can't turn on a dime if it's got some momentum behind it. So you have to slow it down and then turn the ship in a different direction. So gratitude list helps you, just focus on something different. It's not like you're ignoring what's happening, but you just focus on what went right and you just kind of move your attention away from it. And then pretty soon you're looking at a whole different view, and whatever was not going well sort of slipped away. Everything is for the moment. So if you don't like how it's going, just give it a moment. It'll turn around.
Absolutely. Everything is energy. And the moment you choose to focus your energy in a different way or in a different location.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah. And the power of attraction, right? It's
absolutely. Yes. It just makes you feel like you have control. You have a say in what's happening with your life. That's very powerful.
It is. It is. Thank you so much, Laura.
It's my great pleasure.
Our audience is just going to relish in this. It's tiny powerful insights that sometimes you're like, oh, I already know that. But do you really,
sometimes it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. So just you remind yourself every day, it becomes a habit. And then it just becomes your new way of thinking.
Exactly. And you bring that into your business. Any kind of insights that we got, you bring it into your business and it works just as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks again for tuning in. Check out the links in the description and please subscribe, follow, and share. And continue to be omnipresent.